All right, welcome back to the show. Now we're going to be talking about inclusive education here in Nigeria. There's a lot that's still undone when you're talking about people who are either physically or mentally challenged in Nigeria. There's a lot that needs to still be done, and we're going to be talking about that with people who know firsthand what's happening in that sector and what should be done. Joining us here is Chuks Emmanuel, who's a special needs educator, and Abednego Norris, who's a special needs person. Thanks a lot for being here today, both of you. I think you're visually impaired. Give us a bit of an idea of what it is like for you. I mean, it's hard anywhere in the world living with a disability. How much harder is it for you in Nigeria? What's a day for you like here in a country where there's almost no provisions or no care for your own sort of issues, if I may use that word?
Thank you very much. So it's actually a lot from our education sector, trying to learn to accept you, to you wanting to go out. And then even while you're corporately dressed, sometimes some people just feel like, okay, it's the regular persons that you're used to. I get funny questions every now and then. I'm trying to educate people here and there because it just has to be done. I mean, I got into school at a time when some students actually thought visual impairment was actually communicable, and you wouldn't blame them for it. They've watched too much of things. They've heard too many stories of how you could disappear being with us. It's just now people are opening up to say, oh, wow, so they're actually a part of the society. We should give them a trial, even though things like maybe jobs and some other things, the society is still learning to accept. There are some sectors that are still very much hard. And so that's why it's only one or two sectors we can fall back to at the end of the day. But we keep pushing because we believe that the system will get better with time. Our universities, a few of them are waking up to being a part of this journey. For secondary schools, it's very much far behind, but then a few schools here and there are doing things to make sure that they meet up with the standards. At least I can speak of King's College, Queen's College, just to mention a few that are going out of their ways to make sure that these things work. And not forgetting Pacheli School. So I mean, it's hard, but then things are getting better at the end of the day.
So when you talk about things getting better, I know you mentioned King's and Queen's College there. Those are government schools, I believe. But do you see any sort of move from government besides the private sector, people like Chuks who are doing what they do? Do you see a sense from government trying to be more inclusive of you?
So without trying to sell any government or any state, I feel like Lagos is at the forefront of it, but talking about the government generally, I can't say so for myself 100%. I mean, because we are still yet to come to a reality that persons living with disabilities, especially visually impaired persons, are not, and I repeat, we are not campaigning tools or maybe charitable tools or for clout. So far, whoever is coming to support this cause of persons living with disability, it's either maybe towards the beginning of the 4-year term or at the end of it or close to the election period. So that's not happening anytime soon. Although recently, persons living with disability were called in by the government that they are going to share some particular money for them. But when it comes to empowerment and all of that, we haven't gotten to that level yet. We are very, very far behind. When I say far behind, we are in 1990 in 2021.
That's very, very far. Chuks, what does a special needs educator need differently from a regular teacher, for example? And how much support do you get to do what you do?
Okay, so for a special educator, basically you have to go through the basic training, you understand? Because the skills that I possess today were not just skills that, or because I have the interest, I just wanted to know. There are foundations, to skyscrapers. So we have to go through the foundations. Look, there are limited schools in Nigeria that cater fully for individuals, that's regular individuals who want to go into the field of being a special educator or being a special educationist. So they basically just go through the process, the training. It took me about 4, 5, 6 years, and I'm still learning. I'm still on the process. I'm still learning. We never stop learning because these individuals with disabilities, they come with a lot of package. Like we unravel them daily, never stop unraveling them. And when you think you know this aspect of them, they show you another aspect. So with these, we need to know, okay, upgrade yourself, just the way we always update our apps, our Android and iOS apps. We need to update our skills, upgrade yourself, so that when you get a new challenge, you know how to cater for that challenge. And then the support, to be honest, is very limiting. Like, we rarely talk about it. Aside we just want to do, like, even when we call for volunteering opportunities, people rarely do that. You understand? When we want to have an outreach, people rarely come by. So if individuals who are selling these opportunities, aside just the parents or families of those who are impaired, because they need to learn the basic skills of which they need to communicate and train their kids or whoever they're in charge of. So the support is limited, yes.
Okay, I wanted to ask you. Unfortunately, in the country where we are, there's people who believe that once you have a child who has special needs of any form, you find that especially with the lower class or poor Nigerians, the instinct is to not take them to school or not feel the need to educate them because you feel like maybe they are not good enough to receive an education. Are you noticing an uptick in numbers of special needs children who are coming to you, for example, to get educated? Are you noticing a rise in numbers in that sector?
Yes. Actually, there's currently a rise in number of special needs individual children who are interested in education. You understand? But I think from early stage, what parents do, they homeschool these kids. Homeschool them till about the age of 6 thereabout. So they put them in school, and so in that process, there's late learning for them. So aside those who are actually the gifted and talented, who are they can easily pick knowledge. You understand? But for that, challenges are so much. And um and um so so for homeschooling, from 1 to 6 years of age, they are being homeschooled. Then by 7 thereabout, they are now put into a federal or private owned um care house or school that take care of this individual. So, for example, we have Pacheli School for the Blind. Abednego finished from Pacheli, and afterward he wrote his exam and he got into King's College, and it's in his final year now. So the process has been, and daily we have people. It's just that we need further sensitization, from the grassroots, so that parents of these individuals, will be able to believe that, okay, yes, their kids might be impaired in a certain part of their body, but doesn't mean that, okay, they are not given the chance to learn, because most of these kids, they want to learn. You understand? So for a visually impaired person, yes, for the fact that you're visually impaired, it spikes the other senses, other senses, and they peak double times. You understand? They are very intelligent, same as the hard of hearing individuals and autistic individuals and so on. So daily, we just need to do more. We just need to preach it for us, for people, for parents to let their kids out so that they can learn. So when I come back, so there are about 2 or 3 kids around me that I tutor once in a while at my leisure time. So with this, I hope that from what they've learned, they can move into other houses or cares that take care of them fully.
All right. Very quick last question to you, Abednego. You said Lagos is at least doing something, at least. When you look at the future, are you worried? Are you optimistic, about a society that would probably be more open to being more inclusive of special needs people?
All right, thank you so much, Ebuka. So I am not worried anymore. So I'll give you an instance. I kicked off something to be the first blind African rapper. While others were going into doing some other stuff, I decided to do something that looks new totally. And I'm having other blind rappers who are coming to say that they want to do these things. And so when it comes to Lagos generally, from jobs to acceptance in the society generally, it's taking a gradual process, but it's definitely going to happen. I'm not scared anytime soon. I feel like in another 5, 6 years, you shouldn't be shocked to hear persons who are visually impaired like myself on radio, or maybe probably get those big deals, or maybe at the Headies Award or something of sort, or probably in the education sector. I mean, we have blind futuristic politicians. One has told me he wants to contest for governorship in another 17 years' time. It looks far, but then it's achievable. Another says he's going to be president, even though he doesn't know how he will do it. That's why he's moving to his own state to study. So I feel things are going to get better. In fact, they're getting better gradually. It's just for the government to, again, come together with us to make it work. It's not just about money. We equally need the empowerment and all of the support we can get.
Thank you very much, Abednego. Thank you very much, Chooks. Excited about your album whenever it comes out. Hopefully, we get to hear it soon enough.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
But like I always say, you can follow the conversation on social media. Please use the hashtag Rubbin Minds when you send us a message. I'll see you next Sunday.